So, Mark, did you see that picture of the rooftop view that Carrie Bilicki shared on X or Twitter? This is one of those things people don't talk about so much in Las Vegas. Those beautiful rooftop views where you're just looking out at an air conditioner.
Yeah, the only thing worse than this, at least you get some sky, but I know we both stayed in hotels where you just have a wall next to you, like in maybe a foot of space that you're just staring at bricks. So it's a little bit better, but the last thing you want to see when you check into your Vegas room, although you shouldn't be in the room anyway, right?
I guess, I mean, that's why I don't like to go to the kiosks because I always get a room like this with terrible views. So I like to go ask for a better view. But you're right. Why do you need to be in the room anyway?
Yeah, we need those pod hotels from Japan to come to Vegas because all you need to do is go there and pass out.
Pass out, gamble, drink, pass out again. There you go.
There you go. The cycle of life, the cycle of Vegas life.
So, did they lie to us? I don't know, Mark, but this week, Vital Vegas shared a construction timeline for F1. Now, I've not been able to see this anywhere else, so maybe this is wrong or, they're hiding something, but they say that construction starting May 5th on parts of the track. Didn't they say it was only going to be 3 months of construction this time? But it doesn't seem like that. It's going to be the case.
Yeah, I mean, if this is ends up being true, I'm like, this is way too soon. I don't want to talk about this for the next like 8 months or whatever. Like, we need a 6 months break from talking about this junk. At least it seems like, they're doing it in the middle of the night. Should be a little bit better, at least for most of the stuff, if this all goes as planned. But they promised it wouldn't be that bad and there wouldn't be that much. And now we're starting in May, like early May.
It has been almost 6 months since the race, Mark. You got your break. It was in November, and now it's May. Now they
We
don't
still
say
talked
what's going
about
to be
it
closed.
like 3 months after.
Yeah, that's true. We haven't stopped talking about it. But hopefully these are, like you said, the middle of the night, and obviously it's not going to all be closed at once. But we're going to start to see construction for F1. So bad news there. Good news is Fontainebleau is partnering with F1 this year, and they're doing something unique. They're bringing the Live nightclub experience to the rooftop of the Paddock Club or the pit building, depending on what you want to call it. So Fontainebleau wasn't able to partner last year. This year, they're going to have a dedicated shuttle plus the rooftop nightclub with great views all over the track. Should be good.
Yeah, I mean, it should be cool for the people that have those tickets and can get up there and the expensive tickets. So for most of us, it doesn't matter. It's just a way of Fontainebleau to get their name on something. But I think it'll be a cool experience. I love rooftop stuff. So anytime you can add another rooftop, especially for an event like this, I think it's worthwhile. And it's just a question of how much is it going to cost to get access to it.
Yeah, most importantly, they did not release ticket prices, but you have to imagine this is going to be one of the most expensive tickets that there are available, not only because of the views, but because of the clientele in there and the exclusivity of it. Fontainebleau with all their celebrities and all that. So I'm sure it's going to be a crazy night. Lots of fancy people up there.
Yeah, they get, unlike Virgin that like got some E-list celebs in there to roll fake dice and everything. But, Tom Brady, he's going to be there because they have that Sports Hall of Fame thing that doesn't make any sense.
Got to have all his Super Bowl rings on display. So Formula One, not going away. We're going to be talking about it, I guess. Hopefully the construction isn't too bad and we'll have new partnerships. They did say cheaper ticket options too. So looking forward to making this race a great one this year, and we'll see how it all goes. MGM had their earnings call this week. There's a couple of takeaways, not going to go too much into the earnings themselves, but they did talk about the Marriott partnership and how successful that's been. There's been over 130,000 room nights booked through Marriott, and they're saying that Marriott customers are spending more than their average consumer as well. The most popular property being booked, Bellagio.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that because Bellagio is probably the most known for people that don't go to Vegas often just from the movies and everything like that. So I'm not too surprised. I am a little surprised how well, at least how well they're saying it's going, just because like they're not getting that much for booking through Marriott, or you wouldn't think that it would be that much of a draw for these people. They're like, oh, I want to go to Vegas. Well, I have a Marriott account. Let me check. There's not that much added to it to force people to book, but I guess that just shows, how people aren't the most savvy of travelers at time and they just go with what's easy and what's known. And Marriott is a big brand, lots of people, probably the biggest, Bonvoy is probably the biggest loyalty program in the hotel business. So you have to deal with all that and just people coming in. So they made the right move getting off of Hyatt's bandwagon because Hyatt's so much smaller.
Yeah, I wonder what the difference is between Hyatt's booked nights and the spending. Specifically, they said that Marriott customers are spending $100 more on their hotel rate for their trip and then $50 more on property for every single trip that they're taking. So a big increase, and it seems like MGM's very happy with this partnership. And like I said, I don't know how Hyatt was delivering, but it doesn't seem like it was as good as what Marriott is putting out there for them.
I mean, we're both big Hyatt fans, and I don't remember ever booking through the through the Hyatt thing. I just booked through. The cool thing back then, you could book through MGM and you still get your Hyatt Elite Night credit. So them making that change, I think, might have driven it more. Like if they would have made it that you had to book through Hyatt to get the Elite Night credit back then, I think they would have seen better numbers as far as bookings comparing the two.
One other little snippet from the earnings call is that Bellagio and Cosmo may be getting a bridge to connect them. Last year, we saw them build that connector from Cosmo to Vidara and Bellagio on the backside, but they're talking about the strip frontage. We talked about how they bought that very slim piece of land sitting between Cosmo and Bellagio that's been used for storage for a parking lot. So I have to imagine this will come into play there. Maybe connect that bridge coming out of Bellagio into Cosmo, but that's coming, and they said they're going to talk about it next quarter. Who knows? You think they're going to build shopping? You think they're going to be something else or just a bridge?
They always add shopping, right? Like that's like a guarantee in Vegas. If you build something, it's going to have shopping. So I think it's good. Making it so you can easily get between all your properties only makes sense, especially when you have positioned them all like right on top of each other in a row. That's why we've always talked about like MGM should have bought the Trop, because that would have connected all four corners and everything. So I think the synergy works well with all this, and we'll just have to see what else they add to it.
My prediction is a shopping center of some sort that connects Bellagio to Cosmo, but maybe it's just a bridge. We'll learn more, but good to
Another
see
CVS.
everything getting more. Yeah, not another CVS. Who knows? I mean, there's enough of them, but we've said that for years and they keep building more. So, it's coming. So let's move downtown real quick. Talk about Circa. This is a really cool story. So they're doing the 2020 Grad Splash. This is a free event at Stadium Swim, so you get free admission. They even have free food, and they're going to have a toast. And this is for everybody who graduated in 2020 during the pandemic, so they couldn't have their graduation parties. Now they're all 21, and Circa wants them into the fold, so they're inviting them over for a swim.
Yeah, I think this is really cool. We've talked about how, good Circa is with their promotions, the same as Plaza, and they really do. And I think Circa's a step above everybody else, just the unique stuff they come up with. And at first reading this, I was like, man, they waited a while to do that. And then it dawned on me like, oh yeah, they got to be 21 to get into Circa. And, they're starting to get into their gambling and drinking and all that stuff. So you put out this, party for them, they're more likely to come back to your resort, and you kind of like indoctrinate them. Is that a bad word to use for this? Into coming to your property and gambling there. So I think it's smart all the way around. Cool. You get some publicity, something unique that nobody else would really ever think about.
Something else unique they're doing is Derek Stevens is giving away his Cybertruck, or they're doing a Cybertruck giveaway through November. And you got to earn points, 100 points on slots or video poker, or there's various other ways that you can earn entries into this. And then once a month, they're going to do a drawing and get 3 finalists. And then you'll have a bunch of finalists for that last drawing in November to win the Cybertruck. So, there you go. It looks pretty cool with that Circa wrap on it.
Yeah, it looks cool with the Circa wrap, but I mean, we've fought about this for what, like 3-4 years now, how I think the Cybertruck is just ugly, like completely trash. I mean, it looks better. I will say it looks better in person than when you see like pictures and videos and stuff. It looks a little bit better, but one, it's not a truck, and, and two, it's just ugly. I would take the cash if that's an option.
Yeah, I agree. The Cybertruck looks better in person, Mark. And, not my favorite design, but I do like the inside and like all of it. But no matter what, it's $100,000 and you can win it at Circa. Quick, sad update. We see some pictures this week from Tropicana as they demolish the porte cochere in parts of the outside of the building. So we're going to see this happen over the next few months, but it's sad to see this.
Yeah, I mean, it's expected, but it's also always a little bit surprising when you see it start to crumble down. And this is kind of when it finally hits home that it's done for good. I'm sad I wasn't able to make it out there one more time. Even on my recent trip for the Super Bowl, wasn't able to just get down to that part of the strip and check it out one more time. But fond memories. My first trip, I spent a lot of time there, and sad to see it start to come down.
Yeah, these visuals are going to get worse and worse and worse as we get closer to the implosion. But this was the first sort of big, the porte cochere, the entrance to the Trop. Rest in peace, good old Tropicana. As a reminder, we have our Patreon. $5 a month gets you access to our weekly after show. Every single week, we dive deeper into Vegas, laugh, talk behind the channel. Patreon.com/MTM Vegas for all the information. Thanks to everybody who supports us over there. So the Venetian is in the middle of this huge transformation, And they announced, I think $1 billion a couple years ago for renovations, and now it's up to $1.5 billion. So they're celebrating their 25th anniversary, and as part of that, they did this new press release where they mentioned this $1.5 billion number, and that's going to be renovations of pretty much all the public spaces, the new poker room that we've talked about, renovations to the convention center that we talked about, and 4,000 rooms in the Venetian Tower being renovated. And we saw some art of the room inspired by Carnival. So let's start with there. What do you think of the new rooms at Venetian?
I like it. I mean, it's something that's needed to be done for a while. I haven't stayed there in, man, probably like 8, 10 years. And back then, the rooms are great. The setup is great. It's spacious. You got stairs going down. It's kind of cool. But it felt beat up back then, so I'm glad to see this happening. And I like it. What do you think?
I don't love it, but it fits in well with the theme. So it's not my style of hotel room, but I think it's very nice. The quality looks good, and the layout of those rooms is second to none. They're great rooms. For sure, this was needed. I love how in the press release they made sure to talk about their sportsbook partnership with Yahoo Sportsbook, powered by William Hill. I still just love the fact that somebody convinced somebody else that they're going to name their sportsbook that.
Yeah, and it's like two brands that are kind of pat. Like Yahoo got knocked out by Google, and William Hill was big, and then all of a sudden it like disappeared.
Yeah, Caesars really killed William Hill, didn't they? I mean, they were everywhere, and now
Yeah.
you don't see it very much. They're also doing their 25th anniversary celebration this weekend. So guests checking in on May 3rd are going to get a special gift to celebrate, and the cake boss is going to be there handing out delicious treats in the lobby. And then also there's a special dinner with Emeril Lagasse at Delmonico Steakhouse because he's an original chef from Venetian 25 years ago. Other food and beverage specials throughout the property all of the month of May. So celebrating 25 years as it transitions into this new property.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool to have all these extra little perks, especially if the lines end up like Paris. At least you get a little snack. Hopefully, it doesn't come from the vending machine, though.
And Fox 5 is giving away 25 staycations as well, so you could check them out if you're local here. The staycation includes one night stay, food and beverage credit, and a gondola ride, so you get the full Venetian experience.
You ever done the gondolas? I have not. And I wanted to do it when our buddy Ryan was working there and was singing, but I've just never felt it was worth the money.
I hate to admit that I have not ever done the gondolas. No wonder neither one of us knew that there was still a boat ride on the strip. No, I don't know why. I just been too cheap to do it, but I almost did it in Macau once, and yeah, it's something that's definitely missing from my Vegas checklist.
And when we talked about the rides, I'm talking about like something available to everybody free, and this, can get costly and tip and everything. It just never seemed like the experience was really worth it to me, but I can see why a lot of people do it and love it, and kind of one of those bucket list things to just check off when you go to Vegas for sure.
So maybe you can explain this next story to me. Dave and Buster's is that adult arcade restaurant place, and they had this stuff in their app where you could, bet for fun on sports, use their rewards points for that. But now you're going to be able to bet real money that you're going to beat your friends. So you can have friendly competitions within Dave and Buster's on the different games and stuff, and bet real money between friends. I don't even know how this is legal, but this is what's happening, and I guess this is the next version of betting live on your phone.
Yeah, I think the way they get around it is similar to how like the fantasy places got around it. Like if you're going head to head and stuff like that, like it's not technically gambling. So that already has been like laid out for them. Now, as far as betting a friend, usually you're just like, hey, winner, loser buys the beer or whatever. So I don't see that this will be that popular for those type of things. What I could see is maybe kind of like what you see with Golden Tee, where everybody chips in $1 and you play live across the nation against other players and stuff. So maybe it'll be like highest score in skee ball or whatever it be, going against for this slot of 100 players, everybody chips in $5 and top 10 places get money. That's where I kind of see it going, and it'll be like easy money for them once they build out the back end stuff, because they'll just take a chunk off the top, similar to fantasy sports and all of that. So I think that's where it will go. I mean, the way that they're explaining it now doesn't make like any sense that it would be a big thing, but I think it will be like a nationwide competition on certain games throughout the day type of stuff.
Are we heading to the future where everybody's just betting on everything from their phone all the time? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'd love to hear what people think about this. If this sounds like a great idea, or is this gambling gone too far?
Yeah, somebody made a joke like, "Are we gonna be betting on kids' sports next?" And then you go up to a dad and be like, "Your son choked and really cost me it cost me $500 on this game, giving up that goal and punching him and starting like fights in the stands and everything." Like that, is that where we're going?
I think so. I think so. So UNLV is talking about leasing this land. Now they own this 42 acres. This is just to the east of MGM Grand near Koval. They bought it, I think, in 2015 for $50 million, and they spend $3 million a year just, keeping it serviced. They said they're going to make roughly $1.25 billion by leasing this out for 99 years. And there's a mixed use development that's proposed for the land, although there could be hotel, could be casino. I believe this land used to be a driving range for a golf course right behind the old Tropicana golf course, if I'm right. People can correct me there. But it's just sitting there very close to the strip, so I'm sure it would be popular.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense for them to get something out of it, make some money off of this. And, you don't have the maintenance costs either, whatever upkeep you have to do on the property right now.
I think it's because the UNLV can't sell the land or they have to go through state approvals. And so this is sort of a workaround, too, to basically get these developers to get what they want. But I guess it's clear that UNLV says they're not going to develop the land themselves to expand the school or to have a student village like they had initially said. This land is ripe for development, but there's so many pieces of land around Las Vegas in the Strip corridor that are ripe for development. So I don't know that that necessarily means anything.
I think they're just you're left with a couple options, and this is the best one for them. If you're not going to use the land, you got to make some money off of it. You can't just let it sit there. I think this is a smart way to work around it.
And let's close with this. Good news for some, bad news for many, but MGM has finally announced the date that Cosmo will join MGM Rewards, giving up their identity program. That day is July 30th, meaning that on that date, MGM Rewards will take over. And they have a FAQ on their website talking about how they'll convert everything else, how you'll get your benefits, how previously booked comp offers will stay. But people who love MGM Rewards should be happy. People who love identity should be crying in their pillows.
Yeah, I think the key here is if you have the Cosmo Identity Rewards and you have some free comps and rooms and stuff, book everything you can now because you don't know what you'll get when it rolls over to MGM. So, speculatively book everything possible. Maybe we can hope for another cyber attack and bump this back another year or two.
Yeah, it's been crazy how long MGM has owned Cosmo, that it took this long. So I feel like anybody who loves identity should just be grateful, I guess, that they got this long. I know for us, we get much better offers through identity than we do through MGM Rewards. So this will be a big downgrade. So definitely looking to book our last free nights there before the changeover. But yeah, not a huge deal. This was expected. Anybody who's upset, you should have accepted it at this point. There was no way that identity was going to live on, and MGM Rewards is going to be the thing. But if you are an MGM person, this kind of opens up your earning and a lot of the stuff that's not there. There is some cross property stuff now that you can earn, but this just fully gets you in the program. Gamble there just like any other MGM property.
Yeah, I think it's better for more people because more people are MGM people than we're Cosmo. So I think that this is overall good for the majority, but the minority, it hurts real bad.
People always said when Cosmo was being built that it should have just been part of City Center. It looks like it should have been, and now MGM owns it, and now we're seeing the full sort of integration of everything. And then the bridges, we talked earlier about the new bridge for Bellagio that's going to come. It's going to be fully integrated with all the connections on the backside. And pretty soon you'll just never know that Cosmo was its own thing, its own beautiful thing, and you'll always think that it was part of the Lion.
Especially when the MGM Sphere becomes the thing, and then they can connect all that too.
That's a big bridge and tunnel needed for that. But let us know what you guys think about anything we talked about today. The Marriott integration for MGM, connecting that, F1 construction, Cosmo, and MGM Rewards. Are you happy about that? Are you sad? Leave a comment. We do 2 shows a week, Tuesdays and Fridays, and we'll be back in a couple days with another show. Thanks so much for watching. Talk to you next time.
Have a good weekend, everybody.